Oh, that's not very good. The lighting's not very good on this one. My goodness. Let me do something about this lighting. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Good afternoon, everybody. I'm a little bit early. I just set up everything else, as you can see. The camera was a little bit a red face, but the lighting isn't perfect here. But never mind. That's the way things go, isn't it? I've had to set things up as we go along. If I move lightly like that, maybe it's because the internet connection isn't the best connection in the world. But here we are, live in Ban Rak Thai. Ban Rak Thai, very, very north of Thailand. So 5 people in the house already. Is the video okay? And is the sound okay? Give me a thumbs up or leave something in the comments to say, yeah, it's okay. Such a beautiful view, lads, isn't it? I'll just move over there. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's rated as one of the top beautiful villages in the whole of Thailand. And I've got to say, it's very, very, very beautiful. This is our second day here, and we're staying here for 3 nights. So we're staying at this location with this view over here for 2 nights, which is very, very expensive. 4,000, well, expensive to some, but maybe it's not to others. We paid 4,700 a night. And again, the videos and the descriptions of where we're staying is going to come later on in a video. But tonight we're going to go down there. There's boats on there, T-boats that you can go on for 3/4 of an hour. And very, very cheap, 350 baht to take you around on the little boat on the lake for 45 minutes. It's brilliant. It really, really is good. We've been down to the coffee shops already. We had a walk around the lake, and you might not be able to see it, but over there tomorrow we move to a different location from this, and we're going to a riverside. A riverside apartment. That's the word I'm looking for. An apartment, riverside apartment, not riverside, lakeside apartment. My goodness, can't get my words up. So we're going to go there tomorrow. We're spending one more night in there, and then we go back to Pai for Christmas, and then we go to Chiang Mai for New Year. It's been an eventful trip already. I got food poisoning 2 days ago. So yesterday, the drive from Pai to Ban Rak Thai should have been taken, should have been about 2 3/4 hours, but it ended up 4 hours because there's a couple of viewpoints that we stopped at. But I feel very, very rough yesterday. And I've got to say, the road from Pai to Ban Rak Thai isn't the best roads to drive along anyway, because there's many, many, many bends and steep twists and turns. I felt like crap yesterday driving all the way here, but we'd paid for the hotel, so we had to do it. So it took us 4 hours, but we're here. And we love it. As you can see, the beautiful view from where we are. We're probably one of the second most highest apartments or rooms in Ban Rak Thai when you look around the hillside and things like that. But the view is spectacularly beautiful. And again, the video, try to do a StreamYard where I could have showed you the video of a sunrise and sunset. I was up this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, set my camera up for a time lapse. So that, again, that'll come in the videos, later videos. But there was boats going around at dusk this morning, like 6, 7 o'clock. People watching sunrise come up. It was just spectacularly beautiful. And on the night time, it's all lit up. And again, it's probably one of the best places I've visited in Thailand, and I've been in Thailand now for 13 years. So it's stunningly beautiful. It takes forever to get here, but it's worth the trip. Hi, Les. The place looks beautiful. Yes, it does. We just finished building our house. We don't feel the need to go anywhere. Yeah, again, like as I say, we live in a holiday location, so but once you've been here for a while, you do tend to want to visit other places. I've always been a traveler, and I've always liked traveling type of thing. So I just love, new places and new things. And altogether, we're away for the best part of 3, maybe 4 weeks altogether. We left on the 18th and maybe get back to Rayong between the 10th and the 12th of January. There's Pai to visit yet for Christmas, and then New Year's Eve for a couple of days. We're going to Chiang Mai. Then we're going to see a friend at Pei. Then we're going to Plei's mum and dad's, go and see them for the new year. And then we're going to go see friends of ours in Trat before we get back to our own home, on our own lifestyle, if you like. So we're just looking forward. We just like traveling, basically, that's it. And it's a good job we do, really, because it took 20 hours to drive to here from Rayong. We did it over a 3-day period. Obviously, 20 hours is just, wow, it's a long drive. But it's beautiful. Bill Simpson, hi Les. How are you, mate? Thanks very much, Bill, for joining in. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you. The sound is terrible, mate. Oh, okay. Let's have a look. Is it too bad or too little? The sound is terrible, mate. The sound is very hard to understand. Okay. Well, say that might be the difference with the internet connection might be slow. I've turned the gain up a little bit. Is that any better? Give it a thumbs up, or yeah, let me know in the comments if the sound is a little bit better. Yeah, I brought me mug with me. Retired and living the dream. It goes everywhere with me, the mug. The sound's not too bad in the live stream. Not the BBC. No, it's never going to be the BBC. But I've turned the gain up on my microphone. Again, it usually have a wired connection into my internet at home, so it's quite a strong connection. Here it's just Wi-Fi, so I've got no cables going to the router. So the stream might be a little bit hit and miss type of thing, but fingers crossed it's enough for the live stream. I know I'm early, like 20 minutes early, but we've been for a walk around, and I thought it was going to be for 3 o'clock, but when I got back, I looked at the posting and it said 4 o'clock. But anyway, those people who are seeing it come here early, they'll see in the background as the sun is starting not go down now, but go behind the mountain. So the colourful changes that happen between now and 6 o'clock is beautiful. It really is. And the temperature here now, it is 20 degrees centigrade, 20 centigrade. And this morning when I got up at 6 o'clock, it was 14. So a bit chilly, much chillier here than it is back at home in Rayong. My sound is fine. Okay, thanks very much for that. Nice view. Yes, beautiful view, isn't it? Ban Rak Thai in the north of Thailand. Very, very north. It is about 5 or 6 hours from Chiang Mai. So it's a good drive, and it's 2.5 hours from Chiang Mai to Pai, 762 bends from Chiang Mai to Pai, and then there's probably another 500 or 600 bends from Pai to Ban Rak Thai. We stopped at one of the viewpoints, and that was probably an hour past Pai towards Ban Rak Thai, and it said now you are on the 1,500th bend going towards Ban Rak Thai. So there's probably 2,000 bends. It's a fantastic motorbike route. There's loads and loads and loads of motorbike groups come to Ban Rak Thai. The roads are just sweeping bends, hairpin bends, nice driving bends. Ploy suffers a little bit from car sickness. So she popped a pill before when we went from Chiang Mai to Pai, because she just, otherwise she would have been car sick. But I said to her, no, probably not so bad from Pai to Ban Rak Thai. So she never took a pill. And within 25, 30 minutes, she was ill. So, yeah. So it's a good job she's taken the tablets. It makes her feel a little bit okay. Good. My sound is fine. Oh, thank you very much for that. Nice view. Beautiful view. Thailand. Thailand read, it's not too bad. Oh, no, the BBC read that. Okay. I lost my train of thought there now. I've lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? So yeah, if anybody's got any questions, please put a queue. I mean, I haven't brought my glasses with me. They're in the car, and walking down to the car, it's a slope like that. It really is. It's about 200 meters up a slope like that. Because if you want the views, you've got to get the height as we have here. And we park the car about 200 meters down the hill, and it's just walking up the hill like that. So I brought all my bits and pieces, but I forgot my glasses, which are in the car. I don't know whether I can turn the no, I can't turn the writing up anymore. So excuse me for squinting if I'm squinting at reading the comments. How did you find the drive? Is it a long trip? Yeah, the trip was a long way. It was 20 hours in total, but we had sort of two night stop. We stopped at Tak, which is probably halfway to Pai. Then we stayed in Pai for 2 nights, where I got food poisoning, which wasn't good. So the day that we drove to here yesterday, I just felt like crap all day. Really, it was coming out of both ends. Excuse the expletives of it, but from 2 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the morning when I got up, it was just constantly throwing up and being. I don't think I've ever been as sick as that for a long time. There was just no stopping it type of thing. So we got some medicine from the pharmacy, and we drove up here yesterday, which probably wasn't the best thing to do, but as we'd booked this hotel, and it wasn't a cheap hotel, room should say, not a hotel, we decided it doesn't matter how long it took, and it took us 4 hours to drive from Pai to Ban Rak Thai. So 20 hours of driving all told, which is a long time, but look at this. It was worth every single hour, I've got to say. And we've been around the lake this morning. We booked our boat trip on the lake, and we're doing that tonight at 6 o'clock, just as the sun's going down. All the boats are lit up, and it's just a magical moment. And I suggest anybody to come and have a look at it. It is classed as one of the most beautiful villages in Thailand, and I've got to say, you wouldn't be disappointed. It's just lovely, and it's cheap as well. The food is so cheap here. It really is. It's a tea growing plantation. I mean, you can't really see, but there's all tea bushes around here. There's a thing over there. There's houses that you can rent in the tea farm, but they're so busy there. They're booked up until mid-February before you can get vacancies. So they're booked up well in advance. And you just stay in a hut in the tea plantation. The lady today who looks after this place, the cleaner, she was picking tea leaves as well, because there's all tea plants around this resort as well. It just opens your eyes. It really is nice here. Hi Dave, retired and don't give up. Hello Les, you look a little red. I know. That's because the sun's shining in there, and we borrowed one of the lights from inside of the house, I think, to light me face up. Otherwise, I would have had a dark face. So yeah, it looks as if I'm a bit red. I know. I can't do nothing about it. When you're at home and you got all the toys and all the gadgets, then you can make everything look perfect. But I'm just happy that the fact that the internet's working okay. I can do the live stream okay. I'm still a little bit early, 15 minutes early before I'm due to start. And we've got 44 people in the house and 9 thumbs up, which is fantastic. So yeah, still looking forward to coming to yours, Dave. As I say, it's on our trip going home. We've planned it, everything. So yeah, so for those people who are watching now, I'm going to do a live stream with Dave from Retired Don't Give Up. So Retired Don't Give Up meets Retired and Living the Dream. And we're going to do 2 live streams, one for my viewers, if you like, and that's on the 2nd of January. And then we're going to do one for Dave for his Canadian audience at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 3rd of January. So be there or be square. And Dave's a newbie here. Well, he's not a newbie now because he's been here for a year. So you can have the option to ask Dave any questions about his thoughts of coming to Thailand, why he made the choice to come from Canada to Thailand. Ask any questions you want, because he's the guy who can tell. I've been here for 13 years, so I've got the retired and living the dream T-shirt on. There you go. Dave's still just ordering his T-shirt, so he's only been here for a year. But yeah, ask Dave any questions that you want for those newbies who want to come to Thailand. It's a fantastic place to be. I wouldn't change it for the world. I love it here. Street food, but no, we didn't have any street food. No, it was all restaurant food that we had. I mean, I'm not against the street food. The street food, I think, is more fresh than in the restaurants, because they only have a small amount of food that they have to cook, so it's sort of cooked right in front of you and it's fresh. I have no idea, absolutely no idea what it was, because everything that we ate before, we were in restaurants and restaurants, and we went to a stunningly beautiful viewpoint in Pai. If it was anything, it might have been that, because that was Pad Kaprao, and that was from I don't know what it was. It could have been I had a salad the day before, and again, what that could have been. Again, people avoid the ice in Thailand. I've never really had any problem with ice, but it could have been some ice that I had in my drinks. The salad, they might have washed the salad with not so much clean water, so it might have been from that. Because I'm still keto-ish. I'm still, being good until Christmas and New Year. Then I'll be naughty. So it might have been that the lettuce hasn't been washed properly, and I got something from the water. But whatever it was, wow, did it knock 7 bells out of me? It really, really did. I've never been that bad I can't remember the last time I was that bad. So who knows? But it certainly wasn't the street food, that's for sure, because we didn't have any. Hi Les, we're going to Thailand in January for a month. You have inspired us to go to Ban Rak Thai. My missus is Thai, and I will be going to Bangkok. Yeah, well, Ban Rak Thai, if you've never been to Ban Rak Thai, go. It's a long, I mean, you can catch a plane to Chiang Mai, then you can get a van from Chiang Mai to Ban Rak Thai. But it's just a long, long way, and it really is bendy, it's like a snake. So if you suffer from travel sickness or motion sickness, take the pills. That's my biggest thing. Take the pills. And as most people watch my YouTubes and everything about my car getting it serviced and things like that, there are some hills, certainly the last 10 kilometers before we got Ban Rak Thai, honest, the hills were like that. And tight bends, so you had to get a swing at it. And I'm thinking, I hope my little car gets up there. It's only a 1200cc engine, and we were slow going up some of them blooming big banks. Wow, so steep. But yeah, the car went well. It managed it, but it was still, touch and go, I think, in some places. So if you go anywhere coming up to even Pai, just make sure your car is 100%, because it takes it out with the engine, that's for sure. I've never had to use the automatic, shift it down and going into first low gear for maybe 3 or 4 years out of the 5 years that I've had the car. But that's the way it goes. But again, if you go in the vans, a lot of people suffer from motion sickness because of you're like that all the way. Yeah, I will make you look good at my. Oh, so you must have all the lighting and the toys, Dave. Well, let's see, because we get to yours in the second. I think I've put it on for about 4 o'clock. I was going to do it at 3, and I thought, no, we'll do it at 4. Then that gives us plenty of time for setting it up and things like that. I mean, I've got all me gear here. This is where I'm using my microphone, my laptop. It's sort of a dedicated package for my live stream. So fingers crossed everything works okay. But I mean, your backdrop is just as good as this. Maybe it's not. You've got palm trees and coconut trees in the background. You've got a beautiful extension on your house that we're going to be doing the live streams from. So I'm looking forward to it. I really, really am. You live in a beautiful, beautiful house in a nice location. So looking forward to that, mate. Hi, mate. What insurance health do you have? Spoke to the insurance brokers, and they most companies don't give DTV holders insurance. Okay, my insurance I've got is with Pacific Cross. It's a yearly plan. I've been with I've had medical insurance now for the past 10 years. And I would suggest anybody that's coming to live here a long time, take out the insurance as young as you can, because then it starts off cheaper, doesn't it? And then if you have any illnesses and things like that, they're already covered. So, I mean, like now I've got a touch of emphysema. And if I'd had emphysema before I took my insurance, well, I probably did have emphysema before, but it wasn't picked up. But that's covered now because it's not a pre-existing condition, because I was already insured before I got diagnosed with it. So I took my insurance out at 52 and I'm 64 now, and I have 700,000 bahts worth of cover with Pacific Cross, and that cost me roughly 25,000 baht a year. 700,000 bahts worth of medical insurance isn't a lot, but I'm fit and I'm healthy, so why do I need 3 or 4 million? When I get older, I'll likely up that premium as well. So when I'm 65 next year, because I pulled a fast one here, I took the insurance out before the next birthday. So my insurance premium is due in the June and my birthday is in the July. So because I'm still only 64 in the June of next year, my insurance premium doesn't go up until I'm 65. So, but when I'm 65, it'll jump from 25 up to 30,000 baht a year. So it's not prohibitively expensive, is it? 30,000 baht a year compared to 25. So that's what I would suggest. The DTV visa, I can't see why any insurance company can't insure you. If you have a backpack traveler's insurance, then the whole idea is that you're going to travel and you're not just going to be in one place. So I know somebody who did have a little bit of trouble with that because they'd stayed in Thailand for the 12 months. And if they'd have made a claim on it, they wouldn't have been insured because it was meant for travel insurance, not staying in one place. So look, the insurance policy details, the nitty gritty, the small print, you don't want to be arguing about that when you're in the hospital. So tell them what your plans are, tell them exactly what you're going to do, and then you know that you're insured for whatever you're going to do. Don't think I'm going to try and get it here on the cheap by doing whatever, because being in the hospital isn't the time to argue over your insurance premiums. So that's my little bit of a tip. Take out the insurance, make sure that everything is done before you set off. Right, let me have another look at this. Let me have another look at this lice thing. So if I just drop that down a little bit. No, we're okay there. Okay. Okay, well, yeah. It's not perfect lighting. It's a little bedside lamp, so it's not it's not ideal, is it? But I wasn't going to bring all my lighting gear with me. It was enough walking up that bloody big hill with all the bags that we had. Good job you got them to check the brakes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were a little bit annoyed with the garage because we asked them to check the brakes once we got the new tyres on. And I was sat there watching him, and the wife went over, and to be fair, I did say to him, have a look at the brakes, and thinking he'd just do it as a glance to make sure that the shoes are okay. The pads are okay because I could see them myself, but I wanted to make sure that the shoes are okay, which means taking the drums off. And the wife went over and she said, "Oh, have you checked the brakes?" He said, "Yeah, I've checked them already." And I said to Ploy, "He hasn't, because he'd never took the drums off." So I said, "I want to have a look at the drums, make sure that the back shoes are okay." So the wife went and complained to the manager. The manager took him off the job, sent him to go and do something else, and somebody else. And she said, "Oh, it's 450 baht to do a brake service." I said, "I'll pay the 450 baht. I've got no problem." But for the guy to say to my wife, "Oh, your brakes are okay, I've looked at them already," I knew where we were coming, and I knew the brakes are going to be heavily used. So I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, it's the same in every country around the world. Some garages try to pull a fast one time. Yeah, we've done that. And in reality, they haven't. And second place, because my wife was asking, they think women don't know nothing about cars anyway. But I was sat there watching him. I wasn't too happy at that. But never mind. That's the way things go, doesn't it? As long as you keep an eye on them. Safety wings seem rather expensive. Oh, I can't read that. Room 600 baht. Oh, again, I probably missed the conversation in there. Hang on, let's have a look. I wish I brought my glasses. If I'd have brought my glasses, I would have been able to read that. The rooms that we're staying in, I don't know whether you're on about the rooms I'm talking about something, but this room that we're staying in is 4,700 a night, which is the second most expensive hotel room that we've ever stayed in. I mean, but it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. And look at that view. That is $1 million view, without a doubt. And we are probably one of the highest buildings in this area overlooking the lake. And we've got a room down there which is lake view, right on the lake itself. There's a veranda overlooking the lake, and that was 2,500 baht a night. So we stayed here for 2 nights for 4,700, and then the other room is 2,500. And the rooms, this is what it's good when you negotiate the price. The rooms that we wanted to look in the building before, there were 3,000 baht. And the lady said the only rooms we've got available are out the back with no view. And she said that's 2,800. We just walked away. No view, no nothing, just a basic room. And then the next guest house that we looked at, right on the riverfront, we had a look in, beautiful room, 2,500, right on the lake. We said, we'll have it. Didn't even bother looking at anywhere else because we were just happy with that. As it's Christmas and New Year over here, it is quite busy, but there are still rooms to get here. I would say anybody that's coming here, because Booking.com and Agoda don't really have many rooms on Booking.com and Agoda. And certainly in Ban Rak Thai, they've got plenty sort of on the outskirts of Ban Rak Thai, but the outskirts of Ban Rak Thai, this is where everything is in here. So I would say don't be worried about that if you ever going to come here. Book one night in a Booking.com so you know you've got accommodation. Then have a walk around. There are hundreds and hundreds of hotel rooms and nice places to stay. Just walk around and you'll find a nice place to stay. You know, in sort of retrospect, we should have just stayed here for one night and then just had a walk around the following day and had a look around. And that's what I'm saying to everybody else. That's my little tip. Come here for one night, book something that you know you're going to stay, and then have a walk around the following day and you'll find something beautiful. Pew north of Nan is very pretty. Another place to try. Yeah, Pew north of Nan is very pretty also. Yeah, I'll have to do that. We'll have to have a look. Again, Ploy found this on TikTok. She's found many places on TikTok, and it's TikTok in Thai is beautiful because we found the tulip garden in where we live in Rayong, which was beautiful. We went to the dam where they had the fireworks the fireworks show and live bands entertainment, which was good. All due to TikTok, and Ply found this on TikTok. So it was well worth TikToking. Yeah, it would be easier if we sent messages in capitals. Not, yeah, that's fantastic. I can read that without squinting, type thing. What a good idea. Yeah. Good idea, Jackson. Yeah, good idea. Yeah. Thanks, retired, don't give up. Yeah. See, that just stood out straight away. Yeah, I will be in Nan for New Year. I don't know where Nan is. I've never heard of that one. Highlights have been back in the UK 2 months from Thailand, missing it already after spending a month there. Yeah, I mean, many people suffer the Thailand blues. Once you leave Thailand and you go back home to the UK, it is totally different, isn't it? It's bleak, it's depressing, the dark nights, the coldness, and it's just people don't want to be there. And I've got to say, I've been back to the UK in the summer and the winter, and I don't miss the UK whatsoever at all. There's nothing I miss about it. But I'm forever grateful to the UK for giving me my employment and the education and being able to step outside of the box when I got to a suitable age where I could retire. And I've got to say, it's only because of my 5 brigade pension I can afford to do this. When I was 19-year-old and I left the steelworks because we're on strike, and I joined the 5 brigade at 19. And when he said you can retire at 50, for me, at 50-year-old, you were an old man from being 19 years old. As it was, I made a good choice, and I'm happy with it. And I'll do it all again tomorrow. I love the fire service. I love my time in 30 years in the 5 brigade, which allowed me to do the things that I'm doing now. And it's always a bit like Dave, retired, don't give up. You've got to, when you retire, you don't give up. It opens new doors, adventures and that. Don't be one of those people who just sits in the chair, does nothing, because when you retire, the best parts of your life have already gone because, illness and ill health comes along, and you don't feel as able when you're getting older. So do the things that you want to do whilst you can, when you can, for as long as you can. Is why I'm here. I'm 64-year-old. Could I do this at 70, 75? I think not. Just driving that distance is a long time. So retire as soon as you can for as long as you can. That's my little tip of the year before 2025. Make 2025 a new start and do the things that you want to do. I've gone blind now because I've been looking in the camera and the light's just above the camera. How's your Thai? Very bad. Very bad. It's not very good at all. Just wondering, is there a problem buying a townhouse? Asking for you for advice. Even a townhouse, you're not allowed to own a townhouse. A townhouse, you can own the house, but you won't own the land that it's sat on. Again, there's ways around the system. You can get a lease. A lease which gives you 30 plus 30 plus 30 years, 90 years. I don't think after you've retired, you're going to be living around for another 90 years. So even if you're at 60 and you get a 30-year lease, that's going to put you to 90, isn't it? So if you think you're going to live past 90, then you can get another 30 years. So there are ways around the system. It's not ideal as far as us Westerners are concerned. We like to think that, everything belongs to us. But the lease agreements, it's not just in Thailand. We have 99 or 999 years leases in England as well. The government are trying to do away with the leasing system, but it is unfair for people who long-term lease and want to try and sell a house again. Thailand, it's a little bit different. I think don't quote me on this, but I think if you have a 30-year lease, you can sell it to somebody else and they'll get a a 30-year lease, so it doesn't reduce with with the leasing period. So if you leased it for 30 years, then after 20 years you want to sell it, there's not just 10 years of the lease left, because you can sell the house and land. If you sell it to a Thai, then you sell it for the normal price. But if you sell it to another foreigner, I do believe you can sell it with another 30-year lease on it, because then it's the land that's just leased off the landowner. But consult a lawyer for anything like that. But that's the way I was told. So I sort of believe it. I think that's the way it goes. Hello, Scarlett. Hi, Retired. Don't give up. Hope you're well. Okay. Do you need a Thai company to lease the land? No, you don't need a Thai company. That's sort of another grey area where you need to set up a company to lease the land. No, you don't. You just put the lease into a Thai person's name. Now I can hear people ringing them alarm bells and waving the red flags, putting it into a Thai person's name. Now you can either do that to your girlfriend or wife, into a Thai partner, into a Thai person's name, or if you use a lawyer, then you put it into a person's name through a lawyer. And the chances of you actually meeting that Thai person is going to be next to zero. It's just registered in a Thai person's name. And if you ever want to sell or, extend the lease, you'll never ever meet them. So they will never ever steal it from you. The property in the lease will always, always, always belong to you. And it's up to you what you do with it. A lot of people are frightened of taking it on that direction. The fact that you think it's just a lease and I don't actually own it. But when all's said and done, we're never ever going to own it anyway, because one day we're going to pass and one day it's going to belong to somebody else, isn't it? So we just live in it for a while and then we pass it on to somebody else. So that's the same with the lease, really. But a lawyer, there's all of these stories that I hear of everybody losing everything, the houses, the condos, the land, the farms, things like that. These people never did the due diligence. If you do your due diligence and set up this program, that you will not lose out at all. Absolutely guarantee that you will always come out on top if you contact a lawyer. But many people fail to use a lawyer because they think, oh, my girlfriend or my wife, she'll never do this to me. But sometimes, sadly, they do that to you. But if you want to take doubly sure that you're going to be okay, contact a lawyer. He'll tell you every single which way that you can do it so you can safeguard what you've got. Or if you're going to get married, get a prenuptial. If you get a prenuptial, then that's sorted as well, isn't it? You know what's going on. She knows what's going on. And, if you're married, at least you're going to get 50% of your money back if you bought a house. So, whereas if you didn't get married, then you're going to lose it all. So, buyer beware. There's always ways and means around everything here. And protection, self-protection is the main way to go. That's what I would say to people. Look after number one, which is you. Because being at 55, 60, 65, we haven't got the recovery time again. So don't lose it in the first place. I lost a lot of money, a lot of money when I was 42, but I had time to recover from that. But if I'd have lost the same amount of money when I retired, say, 60, 65, you haven't got that recovery period, so you're stuffed. So make sure you protect yourself. So we've got 59 people in the house and 23 thumbs up. So any more thumbs up? 23 thumbs up. We can go a bit higher than that, I'm sure. It all helps the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, which helps to promote the channel and that as well. No, so you don't need a Thai company. Exchange rate is bad at the moment. Yeah, it's 43. 43 is very bad, isn't it? But I remember when it went down to 37. That was a really, really bad time. 37. But it got back up to 46. That was good at 46. But it swings and roundabouts, in it. By all accounts, the Thai economy is going to shrink next year, so it will devalue So according to the money people, is that the Thai baht will depreciate next year. So although it might be bad now, come next year time, this is what all the pundits say, is that the Thai baht will reduce in its strength next year sometime. Let's hope for that is going to happen. But you just take it on the chin. Okay, 43 baht might not be good. It might be less than what it was a year or so ago. But gas and electricity, petrol for cars, eating, accommodation are always far, far cheaper than in your own country. So take it with a pinch of salt. You're still saving money by living here because you don't have to pay the exorbitant electricity, gas rates, water rates, everything else that you can imagine living in the UK or any other Western country, because they don't do that over here. So yeah, swings and roundabouts, you're still winning, even when the baht goes down to 43. Just watched a vlog, and the guy built a house but needed a company. Needed a company. The things that I heard, that I consulted a lawyer on behalf of, I directed her towards a lawyer, and I asked him some questions whilst I had the opportunity, while she was asking him to do some work for her. And I asked about a company. And a company is a grey area, because she's circumventing the land ownership rules by setting it into a Thai company. So potentially you could be done for circumventing the Thai laws with regard to land ownership. The lease is probably the best way to go. But again, a Thai lawyer is the person to ask. They know all the ins and outs, what can be done, what can't be done. I'm just a normal everyday guy repeating some of the things that I've learned over my period of being here for 13 years. Do I know the answers to everything? No, I don't. But I direct you to the people who know the answers, and that's a lawyer. I don't know why people don't like going to lawyers. Because I don't like lawyers myself. They're horrible. They're lawyers. They are crooks with certificates. But sometimes you can't avoid using a lawyer. Sometimes you have to use them. But the divorce lawyers are crooks with certificates. And I've done a couple of videos on lawyers and how bad they are. Crazy, robbing, daylight. Ugh. But a lawyer that deals with house contracts and property and stuff like that, they're a better type of lawyer, because it's not personal against you. They're saving you money by telling you how not to lose your money, where a divorce lawyer encourages everybody to argue so they can make more money. But that's another story. I know what you mean. Just renting. Yeah, renting a house is okay in the early stages, but sometimes, again, I've sent people in other directions, like rent to buy schemes and things like that, where you can actually still buy a house over a 5-7 year period, and you pay a little bit more money than renting, but at the end of the day, it's your house. And a rent to buy scheme over here works wonders, because you're in a win-win situation, whereas you're not losing your money, and any rent that you paid will be recovered if and when you sell the property. So there's ways and means around every system over here, but that's how we're buying our house, is a rent to buy scheme. What goes to Thailand stays in Thailand. Thai soil is Thai, and I strongly believe in that also. I don't mind their rules on land ownership, because if we had the same rules in England, especially London, doesn't belong to English people. It belongs to foreigners, doesn't it? And it's the same with Thailand. Look at this place here. This place, stunningly beautiful as it is, would belong to the Chinese, because it's a very, very strong Chinese influence here. And if Chinese people could own this land, they would do. And it's a stunningly beautiful place, Thailand. And how many rich countries in the world would own Thailand? I like the idea Thailand will always be Thailand, because it's Thai owned. And that's how the UK should have been. Instead of giving all of the cheap houses away to the wealthy millionaires, billionaires around the world. And England is never going to be England again. In another 20 years' time, it won't be England at all. They'll rename it something else. But again, that's another story. I watch from afar and can see what's going on. Our land and house are in the wife's name. I don't think it's too much of a risk. Been together for 9 years. Well done. Again, it's the same. The house will be in my wife's name, but I've also took out a 30-year lease on it. The proviso when we signed all the contracts and things like that is that the minute I paid the last payment, because it's on a rent-to-buy system, until I've paid the last payment, it still belongs to the landlady. And on proviso of paying the last payment, I have a 30-year lease. So I'll be 70 when I get it paid. So that'll make me to around 100, and then I don't care. And again, me and the wife have been together now for 8 years. So if you don't trust the person that you're with, don't do it in the first place. If you have any doubts in the first place, don't do it. But well done for 9 years, and may you have many, many more years together, and well done for building a house. Where are you, Les? I'm in Ban Rak Thai, very north of Thailand. So you go to Chiang Mai, then you go to Pai, then you go to Ban Rak Thai. So we're 1 kilometer away from the Myanmar border here. And it's stunningly beautiful. It really, really is. If I move that way, you can see a little bit better. It's beautiful. Yeah, lawyers are money hungry. Yeah, they are. But divorce lawyers are greedy. They have the snouts in the trough all day long. That's probably why they want to be divorce lawyers, because they can make a fortune as opposed to house transfers and stuff like that and everyday legal stuff. There's not a lot of money in it because there's no disputes in it. From what I recall, companies are expensive and have yearly cost. Yeah, because you have to do accounts every year. You've got to pay taxes every year. So yeah, setting up a company can still be expensive, but some people think it's a secure way of doing it. But again, ask a lawyer. You can have 30 minutes free with a lawyer, and they'll tell you everything that you want to know. Switching to a 30-year lease, wife decides to divorce you. Yeah, well, but that was the agreement that we signed was that on final, because up until that final payment, the house belongs to the landlady. So on that final payment of the one last payment, in the clause was that before payment, a 30-year lease is given. So, but if I think she's going to divorce me long before then, I think you get the warning signs before you end up paying the last payment. So, but even then, even if she divorced me, if it all went absolutely petong, right? This is the way this is the way I look upon it. If it went absolutely petong and I paid the last payment and she wouldn't sign the agreement and she divorces me, I get 50% of the money back. So we paid just over 3 million for the house. So I get 1.5 million back, 1.5 million baht back, because I get 50% of the house. So therefore, if I'd have paid 20 years or so, or 10 years of 10 years of rent, then I'd get nothing back, would I? So it's still, I'm going to get 1.5 million, even if the proverbial brown stuff hits the fan. So there you go. So that's a win-win situation, isn't it? So I was never going to lose out, no matter what happened. And at 1.5 million baht in my pocket to start over again, it's not a bad little thing, is it? Whereas if I'd have paid rent for them amount of years, then I would get nothing back. So there's always two sides to every coin, isn't there? So, my glass is always half full. Look at the positives of life and don't look at the negatives. If you look at negativity all the time, then you'll be a negative person. And I've no ill will or bad feelings about my ex-wives. Let them get on in life. If I can't make them happy, I hope they find somebody that can make them happy. I'm not envious of anybody. I'm not jealous of anybody. I just let people get on with their lives. So let me get on with my life and do what I want to do. We all make mistakes in our life. So you just brush yourself down and get on with it. So, okay. That's what I mean. I meant we are all rent. Yeah. We're only here for, we never know when our clock's going to run out, do we? We always know how much money we've got, but we never know when the clock's going to run out. So that's why you need to do the things when you can, because one day we never own anything anyway, do we? We look after it for somebody for a certain amount of time, and then it goes to somebody else. It's like all of these places here, right? Not one single person is going to have that forever. They're only going to have it for a short period of time, and then it's going to go to somebody else. And it's the same with us. We're all going to meet our demise, and it's going to go to somebody else. North Thailand, close to China, and there's a lot of ties with Chinese roots. Probably immigration there hundreds of years ago. Yeah, again, it's a very, very strong Chinese influence here. There's lots of signposts in Chinese as well. It is very close to China, you're correct. And there probably is a lot of Chinese stroke Thai people here, but it doesn't belong to China. There might be Chinese stroke Thai or Thai stroke Chinese, but even this place, they'll always belong to Thailand. And long may Thailand hold on to their land without giving it away to the Ruskies or to the Chinese or to anybody else that's trying to take over. Yeah, temporary guest owner. I have put the land house in the name of my parents' daughter. She is probably going to outlive me. Get a lease agreement. Yeah, again, Ricky in Thailand. Sadly, he's got two daughters. Sadly, his wife passed away with, I think she got dengue fever. They both got dengue fever, but sadly, his wife passed away. And the property that they bought together, he's put it in his daughter's name, and he can stay here in Thailand now because he's of a dependency visa, looking after his daughters. So yeah, again, it's sad, but there are ways of getting around the system, type of thing. And a lawyer, do your due diligence, protect yourself, no matter what age you are when you're coming over here. And that's the biggest thing you can do is protect yourself. Yes, Les, pointless us oldies getting too excited about it. Nobody played tennis with. I've never played tennis. Yeah. Again, enjoy the life while you can. I retired when I was 50-year-old, and I've never ever looked back. I enjoyed. I finished on my 50th birthday legally, and I've never looked back at all. But I've met so many people that work all the time and it'd be bored. Two of my ex-bosses, I sort of talked them into retiring, and they hated it. They hated me for it as well because I talked them into retirement. And as one of them said to me, he said, when I was in the fire brigade, Les, he said, I was a big fish in a little pond because he was the station officer in charge of a watch. And he had quite a lot of power because of his responsibilities. But when he left the fire brigade, he was nothing. He was a big fish. He was a little fish in a massive lake. He said he's got no responsibilities. And that's what he regretted, the fact that he retired and he had no power. But for me, I embrace that because that gives me, power to go everywhere that I've been. I've been all around the world. And I've got to say, this place here, Ban Rak Thai, is probably the third or fourth most beautifulest place I've ever been to. And the first is Sapa in Vietnam. That is that beats the Hawaiis, it beats the Americas. It maybe is equal to Fiji. Fiji is stunningly beautiful. And my second place is Pai. Pai in Thailand is a stunningly beautiful place also. And again, I've done some videos in Pai. In fact, we're going back to Pai for Christmas, and then we're going to Chiang Mai for New Year. But Ban Rak Thai is up there with Pai. It's just such a long way to get it here. And the drive it's not a pleasant drive because it's very, very tough, because your concentration is very, very, you have to concentrate, otherwise you'll have an accident over here. But yeah, stunningly beautiful, this place. So retire and travel, because it opens your mind and you meet some interesting people. And everybody's got a story to tell that you meet over here. I met an English guy today that works in Singapore, married to a Singaporean, and he's on a big bike tour from Chiang Mai, Pai, Ban Rak Thai, Mae Hong Son, and then going back to Chiang Mai. A beautiful big Kawasaki 1000cc motorbike, absolutely stunningly beautiful. And there was like 6 of them on a big bike tour around. And the ride from Chiang Mai to Pai is one of the best motorbike roads in the world, because it has 762 bends and hairpin bends and gentle curves. It's a beautiful motorbike route. I did it 10 years ago on a little Honda 125 and loved it. But now I'm in the car, and it's not as good in a car as it is on a motorbike. That's for sure. Just rent out your old home in the UK and offset the renting in Thailand. Yeah, you can do that. There's people I know that do that. But renting your home out in the UK is fraught with difficulties as well, with bad tenants these days, people who don't pay. I've had that. I used to rent 2 houses out in the UK, and I had some bad tenants, which is a nightmare. It can take you up to 18 weeks to get rid of a bad tenant. And the law is now more on the tenant side than it is on your side. So the tenants have more rights than you do. So yeah, you can do that, offset the rent what you pay in Thailand, but nail the contract down that the agent is responsible for everything that goes wrong. Any damage, getting the tenants out, keeping up with your payments and things like that. It might cost you a lot more money, but having the guarantee that you're going to get your rent every month is priceless. So pay the extra price and get that contract nailed down, that they pay everything. Do you do any sport? No, I don't do any sport. I've never been a sporty person, but I have done many other. I've done paragliding, I've done scuba diving, things like that. I tried a little bit of kite surfing here, but on the first day I got dragged along the beach and I'd scraped half my skin off my leg, so I never went back to that. But I still quite like the idea of kite surfing, yes. But football, I was never good at football. I like rugby. I played a little bit of rugby. Badminton, if you class that as a sport. But no, I'm not really a sporty person. I hate exercise. I hated cross-country running when I was at school. I just thought that was a get out for the teachers to have an easy hour lesson. So no, I've never really been a sporty person. I don't watch football. I don't watch any sports on the TV. No, but I'm fairly fit type of thing. I'm on the keto diet. I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost 20 kilos from when I was 118 kilos. And I think that's very important, because it's so easy for the weight to go on. Then I got to that trigger point and I think, okay, I need to do something about it. I was going to buy a size 44 pair of shorts, and that was it. That was a trigger point for me. And now I'm hovering around 101 kilo, which I'm more than happy with. But next year I'm planning to get down to 95 or 90 kilo. So health in your older age, I would say, it's good for your joints to be not as heavy as what you were maybe when you were younger. I know people tell me to go and exercise, do walking, but if you don't like it, then you're never, ever going to enjoy it. Cycling as well. I don't like cycling, especially in Thailand as well, because there's so many soy dogs come running after you. And if they bite you, or just nibble you or just nip you, then you've got to go and get rabies injections. And that's 13,000 baht, like 260, 270 pounds for a course of 13 injections. So I'd sooner not have to risk, pedaling faster with dogs nipping at your ankles and things like that. So no, in the car, on the motorbike, that's okay. Lots of the water boards here in the UK are putting up bills, but 30% in the next 5 years. Isn't that crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely, again, it's just another hypocrisy. The amount of sewage that has gone into the waterways, and they haven't been punished for it, and they still pay the top bonuses for these water companies and everything. They still get the shares. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, going up 30%. And just to put it in some perspective, my water rate, or my water bill, should say, last month was £1.20. £1.20 for a month's worth of water. I have a septic tank system which gets emptied. I can empty that once a year, which is £10 to empty that once a year, and £1 a month for the water. And that includes as water in the garden. And okay, drinking water is different. You can't drink the water that comes through your pipes here. But drinking water is so cheap. We pay 15 baht for 20 litres of water, which is nothing, is it? So up 30%. And the council taxes are going to be going up as well. And there's no good feeling at all with Stammer at the minute. It's just all bad feeling, isn't it? But I see it from a distance. And I feel sorry for everybody in the UK at the minute, because everybody was hoping for a breath of fresh air with Labour coming in. And if anything, he's worse than the Tories. And I know he's saying, well, I have to do all of these bad things to make life good for everybody, but he's given nobody any hope. In fact, I did a video, 7 weeks, and he's just withdrawn all the good hope that people had in the UK in 7 weeks. 7 weeks of being Prime Minister, all hope is gone. Crazy, man. Was in Spain for the 2000, the millennium, and it amazed me how it was changed. Yeah, I mean, everywhere changes, doesn't it? Your head is on fire. Yeah. That's because I have proper lights at home, but this is just a bedside lamp above me phone, and otherwise, if I didn't have that on, the background was too bright, and it's all to do with the ISO of the camera and the shutter speed and stuff like that. So I've got a big red head. But it's that I want people to look at that, because this is just beautiful, isn't it? And that's not all red. That's natural. That's how it is. And here we are now. It is 4:34 here, and it's at 21 degrees 21 Celsius, which is perfect temperature. I'm sat here in my t-shirt in December, so it's lovely. Yeah, very red face, hiking with the snakes. Thankfully, I haven't seen really many snakes here. Les, is there any local guides in Pai that can show you around flora and fauna? Yes, there are guides, there are trips, there are many things. Even here, Ban Rak Thai, there are tour guides that can take you around everywhere and everything. But Pai, the adventures in Pai, the many things that you can do in Pai, it's lovely. It is so chilled out and so relaxed. And I said, the hotel that we stayed in on the way here, it was just a cheap hotel, 1,000 baht a night, which is about 30 quid. And it was 600 meters walk to the town centre, the walking street of Pai. And it was just like wonderful, beautiful gardens, and just the food and the smelly vision. I wish I had smelly vision for people who was going to watch the video of this. Just the street food, the restaurant food is so cheap. It's just full of happy people. Lots and lots of young people here. absolutely in Pai, I should say, not here, in Pai. It is like a backpacker's delight, because it really, really is a lovely place. And it's just, how can you not like being surrounded by happy people? And the accommodation is cheap to rent all over the place, from cheap and cheerful dormitory to expensive. When we go back to Pai, we're stopping in a more expensive hotel than what we did on the way here. I forget exactly how much it is. It's again, because we've had 3 or 4 different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have stopped in 6 different hotels in the holiday period that we've been here. So Pai, we're going back to Pai for Christmas. Then we're going to Chiang Mai. We're staying at 2 different hotels in Pai, in Chiang Mai. One sort of in a village just sort of west of Chiang Mai, which is stunningly beautiful. The wife wanted to go there, another Tik Tok find. And then we're in for New Year in the old town of Chiang Mai, walking distance to everywhere that's going on. So just park the car up and I can have a few beers without worry of driving anywhere. Everywhere is just walkable distance. Face very Sidang. Okay, let's have a look. See if I can do anything about that then. Let's have a look. Let me get to the camera settings. Okay, so if I go that, is that any better? Oh, there we go. That maybe is a little bit better, is it? I don't know. No, we're still red on this side, aren't we? I don't know. I'm not in my home, obviously. I'm in Ban Rak Thai, so I haven't got the perfect lighting setup type of thing. So it is what it is. But as I say, that's the main thing that I'm here. You know, it's not a green screen. It's natural. So that's what it is. Yeah, nothing wrong with a big red head. Happy Christmas. Yeah, if I had a red nose. Yeah, we're almost at Christmas now, aren't we? 22nd. We're on 22nd of December. And as I say, we go back to Pai on the 24th. So Christmas Eve, I'll be out, and Christmas Day, we'll be out eating somewhere. So I'll have my Christmas jumper on, because I'll be speaking to all my family and friends back in the UK. So yeah, Christmas is a lovely time of the year over it, and it's warm. Who wouldn't want to be warm? Hi Les, where Pai where's Pai? Pai, Pai. Pai is in the northern part of Thailand, next 2.5 hours away from Chiang Mai. So if you just Google Chiang Mai, then you put Pai, Pai, and then you'll be able to find out where it is. But stunningly beautiful. Hi Les, hope you are both well. Bit late on the party. Sorry, chum. No problems. Just given back banks array to see house here in. Happy Christmas. Travels from the end of us here. Yep. Thanks very much for the happy Christmas, and the same to you. Happy Christmas and a Merry New Year. And hope 2025 is better than 2024. Let's face it, 2024 is not going to be a lot to beat, is it, in 2025? Hopefully the new aliens who are down in America is going to sort everything else out. I mean, what's everybody's thoughts on that? What's going on in America? You know, and what's going on in England? It doesn't get reported as much as America, does it? The amount of drones and that. There's something fishy going on, that's for sure. And it'll all come out in the wash. Maybe it's the new, you know, it's new Christ coming December, you know, December, Christmas Day, 25th. Let's face it, we could do with a shake-up, can't we? And if we have the aliens who are coming to this world, let's hope that they shake everything up. And there they are, the superpowers, but they're nice. and they don't want to destroy us, so they don't want to rob us of everything. But they certainly couldn't do a worse job than what the world is at the minute with the Americans and the Russians and it's crazy, isn't it? Hey up, Les. Have a good day. After popping and get to for lunch. Okay. Thanks very much for joining us. Much appreciated. I can't believe it. The sun is shining in London at the minute. Oh, have you paid extra for that? I'm sure there'll be a tax there somewhere that you'll have to pay in London if you get the sun shining. Or maybe it's the sun's coming through now because of Sadiq Khan's pollution thing, with the eyelaws or the eyelaws or eye something, isn't it? Where he's clearing up the smog in London. Everybody's paying for all of that, carbon capture and stuff like that. Maybe it has worked, so the sun's coming through the smog. Who knows? I don't mind it being cold as long as it's blue skies and sunshine. I like my skiing holidays, and you can't get much colder than skiing holidays, like up to minus 12 or 13, I think it was, the coldest day that I ever had. But it was blue skies, and I was still skiing in a T-shirt because when that sun is out, it was beautiful. It's only when you fall over in the snow that it got cold. But yeah, cold, blue skies, sunshine, I don't mind. And again, looking outside that, the blue skies, the sun's going down over there somewhere. So in another hour or so, it'll be very, very dark here. And in an hour's time, we're going on the boat. We're going on a boat trip down there. There's like Chinese little junks, like a Chinese junk boat, and we're going there for a cup of tea and being ferried around the lake for 45 minutes for 350 baht, £7. £7, well, maybe it's £8 to be going around the lake in a little Chinese junk. And there's about 30 of the junks here. And on a night time when it's all lit up, it's stunningly beautiful. It really, really is nice. Best time in Thailand, nice and cool with cool breeze, humidity way down. Yeah, it is. That's why it's the busy season, because of that. It's cooler, humidity's down. It's like here. We have really big, thick duvets on the bed. There's no heating here. So it's chilly on the evening time, but we put our fleeces on. Well, I've got a jacket, but I'll put another T-shirt on, plenty of layers, because I will not buy a jumper. But my wife feels the cold, and she will wear a fleece and a woolly jumper and woolly leggings because she's cold. Woolly hat on as well. Because last night when we sat here on the veranda, I mean, all of this background is all lit up. It's stunningly beautiful. It really, really is nice. And we were sat out here until like 10 o'clock last night. Had a couple of cans, and it's just like beautiful. But when you go back into the bedroom and it's cold and there's no heating here, you're soon under that duvet, and it's really, really warm. Once you're under that duvet, it's lovely. Been a long time since I've had to keep warm underneath a duvet. Over here in Rayong, where we live, it's a very light sheet that you sleep under because it's warm. But yes, I agree with you. It's the ideal conditions at the minute because it's cool, the humidity's down. But for 3 months of the year in Thailand, it can be unbearable. And the humidity is very, very high, and it's uncomfortable. But it's only for 3 months of the year. I can put up with that. Sit in front of a fan. I don't mind doing that. So, okay, comments on there. Okay, anybody got any questions? We've been doing it now for just over an hour now. An hour and 14 minutes. I was a little bit early. I know, I just wanted to get everything set up. I wanted to do it with StreamYard because I wanted to show everybody a little video clip of sunrise this morning. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning watching the sunrise and over the mountains here, which was like just beautiful with my cup of coffee. But StreamYard, for some reason, it just lagged. So the video wasn't very, very good. Well, the video was okay, but the camera type of thing, it just lagged for some reason. So I'm back onto me normal YouTube as opposed to StreamYard. But the video I wanted to show everybody, it was only 20 seconds long, but it was like spectacularly beautiful. But here we go. You'll have to wait until the videos, because I'll be doing videos about everywhere that I've stayed. I've took loads and loads of videos, and I just haven't had time to edit things and put things together and put it on. But hopefully plenty of people will watch it. There's going to be like 3 or 4 videos on Pai, Ban Rak Thai and Chiang Mai. So that's 3 places that we've visited. So that'll take a few days to edit, because there's lots and lots of video, lots and lots of video clips to put in. And I got my drone back as well, and I flew my drone out over there. So I got my drone back because I crashed it I crashed it this year. So my drone's back on, so I've got some drone footage of where we stayed, and it, again, stunningly beautiful locations. So yeah, my drone's come in handy again. What's the restaurants like where you are? We haven't been to the restaurant yet, because I was still suffering a little bit from food poisoning yesterday. So we didn't go out last night. We just had snacks that we had with us. I just wasn't up to eating food at all yesterday. The breakfast that they brought us this morning here was wonderful. I probably, because I hadn't eaten all day yesterday, I had a bit too much for breakfast this morning, and my tummy was a little bit upset this morning. But it's okay now. But I'm not going to go eat a lot tonight. But we're going out to the restaurant tonight, and then we're here for tomorrow night as well. And we're in one of them apartments down there somewhere, right on the lakefront, and there's a beautiful, well-lit restaurant right next door to it. So we're going to go in the restaurant there as well. And again, all the restaurants and foodieries that we've been to, we've also done a picture and how much it costs for all the food as well. The food over here is just incredibly cheap. It really, really is. Considering the location where we are, it isn't expensive at all. It's just so cheap to eat out. In the corner here, they've provided us with a charcoal barbecue thing, and if we wanted, we can. Down at the restaurant, down at the bottom of the bank here, they give you a pack of vegetables and meats, chickens and porks and stuff like that, where you can cook yourself, self-barbecue. We didn't do that because I didn't want to eat last night, and we're going out for a meal tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. But we had a walk down the lake this morning. The coffees and the coconut shake, that was 60 baht. Which is cheap, like £1.20, and my wife had another drink. But anyway, the whole lot of it, 120 baht, which is about £2.53. What you'd pay for one cup of coffee in the UK. We both had a cool drink, and just loads of pictures. And again, the tea boat tonight that we're going on for 45 minutes, it's £8 for 45 minutes. And we booked it, so we didn't miss, because they are quite busy on the night time. Even this morning at sunrise this morning, all of them boats were out this morning at sunrise. I set my video up at 6 o'clock, and 6:30 they were out on the lake in the boats watching the sunrise come up. It's a magical time. It really, really is. And there was a bit of mist that came over here as well. That's one of the big selling points here, that you have mist over the lake. We only had a tiny little bit of mist this morning, but I'll set my camera up again tomorrow morning in case the mist comes tomorrow morning. But we had some misty mountains on the way here as well, which was just beautiful to be above the clouds. It's a magical thing. Okay. Highlights. Any idea how early you can renew your visa, and will in advance at later date if due? You can apply for your visa up to a month before. A month before, that's a retirement visa. Yeah, up to about a month before. And any earlier than that, and they'll just tell you to come back later. So a month before. Questions, Les. What's the average guest house charge per night bus to Chiang Mai, any eagles or birds of prey? Okay, right. Guest house, again, you can get, in Chiang Mai, you can get places from as little as 500 baht a night up to, several thousand bahts per night. It's the same anywhere in Thailand. There's budget hotels and guest houses and accommodation, and they're our top end. So I wouldn't worry about how much it's going to cost you. As little as a tenner up to like £300, £400, £500 a night if you want type of thing. The transport to Chiang Mai for a van, it depends where you're going from really, but local buses, public buses, the tour vans, they're all inexpensive. They really are inexpensive. So don't worry about the cost of that. Eagles and birds of prey. Yes, there are lots of eagles and birds of prey about, flying all over the place. I know sometimes we sit on the beach in Rayong and there's an eagle just flies around, and every now and then it just swoops into the sea, gets a fish and takes it back to wherever it's living. So yeah, birds of prey. If you've watched any of my videos, we're surrounded by birds. We have kingfishers, we have finches, we have, they look a little bit like a minor bird, but there's some beautiful long-tailed birds. If you're into your birds, things like that, Thailand's a wonderful place for that. Butterflies today. I've never seen so many colourful butterflies here when we're in Ban Rak Thai. Purple and black, yellow spotted butterflies, just beautiful, just beautiful. And the flowers that are around here, you see many car accidents. Not really. To be fair, as I said, we drove 20 hours here and we've seen 2 accidents that sort of happened maybe 20 or 30 minutes before we got there. We've seen an old lady getting knocked down in Pai, but she was just like old lady in Fairmont, and the traffic in Pai, the streets are very, very narrow, and she just got clipped by I mean, he was only going like 5 miles an hour or so the wing mirror clipped her and made her fall over. She had a bad scrape to her arm type of thing, but the Thai people were taking care of her. Stupid foreigner on a motorbike. There was a bus going up a big hill, and he took a wide swing to go around this hairpin bend, and this stupid foreigner thought he could undertake the bus on a hairpin bend, so close to having an accident. Just stupid. That's what I'm saying. On a motorbike here, it's a motorbike pleasure to drive around the roads here, but you try to overtake a bus on a hairpin bend, you ain't going to win. And he kept beckoning his friend who wasn't motorbike friendly behind him, saying, come on. And he's just all over the road. And I've got a bit of a video of that one anyway. You don't quite see him trying to undertake the bus, but you can just see the way it's just stupid, man. Yeah, so I've seen some very close accidents as well. And okay, Thailand's got a bad reputation for accidents, but it's more motorbike accidents than car accidents. Speed, alcohol, and drugs is a lot to do with accidents over here. I drive defensively. When I was in the fire brigade, I used to drive the fire engine. So you're taught how to drive defensively. My eyes are in the mirrors. They undertake you, overtake. If they could get over the top of you, they'd overtake you going over the top of you as well. So you've got to have your eyes in the mirrors all of the time. And it is a challenge to drive over here, but it's not impossible. I've been driving here for 10 years of the 13 years that I've been here. And touch wood, never had an accident. And hopefully I never will. But no, how many accidents, how many car crashes would there be in England? I went out of London once to go in the airport, and I had a hire car, and I allowed myself 5 hours spare time to be in London at the airport. There was 2 major crashes on the roads, and I got to the airport with 30 minutes to spare, and that's allowing me 5 hours at the airport. So here, 20 hours, not one single road hold up. I went from Rayong through Bangkok, and then once I was past Bangkok, it was dual carriageway, basically all the way to Pai. Wonderful roads here, and the speed limit is like 60 miles an hour. So even driving at 60 miles an hour, you've got reaction speed. Reaction, if you see something happening, not the 17, 80 mile an hour that you do in the UK. So driving is probably safer than it is in the UK. I assume the international driving license expires. You need to take a driving test in Thailand. Yeah, your international driver's license, funny enough, only lasts for 3 months here. So if you come here on a retirement visa, the police collecting their T money, if it's been longer than 3 months since you've been here, they can charge you 500 baht for T money because it's expired. Even though it lasts for a year, they say that if you're over here for more than 3 months, and especially if you're on a retirement visa, they can say that you've got to take a Thai driving license or driving test, which is no problem whatsoever, really. If you've got a motorbike license in the UK, it's not a difficult thing to get over here. If you don't have a motorbike license in the UK, it's still easy to get a motorbike license over here. The actual practical test of the motorbike, driving your motorbike, is about 2 or 3 minutes, and it's all in an enclosed place, so you're not on the open roads, things like that. People aren't following you around behind you, telling you turn left, turn right, go straight ahead. It is so simple and easy to do. And there are plenty of agents as well that will get you a driving license for about 4,500, 5,000 baht, which isn't expensive, 100 quid, and they'll get you your license, and you just go in, you do your bits and pieces. It's easy to do over here. It's not difficult at all. Yeah, yeah. You're like a nodding dog, review, left one, right one. Anytime you make a maneuver, whether you pull out to the right or pull into the left, always mirrors, because the motorbikes especially will undertake you no matter where you are. So if you're going to go to a junction, turn left, you make sure that there's nothing on the inside of you like a motorbike. Let's prices, Rayong for bits and bobs. Yeah, again in Rayong, although it's not on the tourist location, there are bars that you can go to for playing pool and snooker and things like that. I like Rayong because it isn't on the tourist location, and because it's not on the tourist map. Rental is cheap. Rental, accommodation, buying property, food and entertainment is much cheaper than it is elsewhere in the tourist locations. But yeah, Rayong isn't for everybody. Basically, if you're a single guy, don't come to Rayong. If you're a guy, got your girlfriend or your wife, Rayong is perfect because it's out with the silly areas. There's lots of bars here that not girly bars that you can actually go and have a few beers in without being pestered by the girls and things like that. So it's a retirement place, Rayong, but it's not a man's paradise like various other parts of Thailand are. Oh, sorry, Les's pie, a similar price as Rayong for bills. Yeah, it is a very similar price, if not cheaper for some things. Yeah, it's cheap Thailand anyway. So if it's going to be cheap, it's only like 10 or 20 baht. But yes, I would say pie is cheaper or as cheap as Rayong for sure. Yeah, I had some really exotic looking birds. Yeah, again, kingfisher. We have kingfishers and finches in our back garden type of thing. And another a big blackbird about that with a like a big tail, just beautiful. And again, all my videos that I do, washing the car videos or head talking videos, you can always hear the birds in the background. And that's just natural. That's every single day. So I get up and have my coffee in the morning, watching the sunrise and all the birds here. I don't know whether you can hear the birds in the background here. There's some kids playing in the background. You can probably hear them, but there's birds tweeting around all over the place as well. Okay, right. It's 5 o'clock now, and I'm going to have to close this. It was only going to be for an hour or so anyway, because by the time we put everything away, then walk down we have to get down there for 5:45 to go and get our boat for 6 o'clock. So thanks very much, everybody, for joining me. I'm going to do the next live stream on the 2nd of January with my friend Dave from Retired Don't Give Up in Pair. So join me on that one and have a look at that one. So in the meantime, have a fantastic Christmas and a happy new year. Thank you very, very much for the support that you've given me all of this year and for tuning in and watching this. And it's all very, very much appreciated. And thanks very much. It's because of you I do this live streaming type of thing, because of the interaction. And thanks very much for watching. So Les from Ban Rak Thai, Retired and Live the Dream. Bye for now.